Hello, Peleg. How's it going?
How are you, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much. We decided here to take some of the amazing people we're working with for discussions online, just to make sure that the world hears and sees everything we're doing and have the opportunity to get a little bit of exposure to the insights we have. And I think, you have created the travel content in Israel. You literally you created this space years ago.
I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that.
I mean, it's been a while ago,
But
and I think, I think it's clear that if you ask any Israeli, they'll tell you, yes, Lonely Peleg, we know Lonely Peleg, and you basically, you've been to over
51 countries.
151 countries, and you're creating content about each one of these places, and every possible Israeli have seen you before online. And you are an inspiration to so many Israelis for traveling, for discovery of destinations, for content creation, for so many things. And now you're also advising startup companies like ours, and you're helping other technology companies, and you're going into this travel technology world. So I think it would be amazing to have you here with me and to discuss a little bit of how do you see the future of travel and the future of content.
Sounds good. Where you want to start?
When you started creating content, how long ago was this?
That was in, I think I started when I traveled West Africa. So I never thought I would be a travel blogger. I've been traveling for 17 years now, but I just did a lot of random things along the way. And then when I arrived to West Africa, it was in the end of 2012. People told me it's too dangerous, it's too complicated, it's very hard to travel there, but I met such a lovely people that I wanted to share their story. And this is how Lonely Peleg actually became a travel blog. So just me sharing my travel experience in West Africa. And then, as you say, I was probably one of the first ones to create Israel like a travel blog that go regularly online. And then people start following. It's like, how many countries have you been to? How many years you traveling? Because I was one of the first ones doing it. It was like TV interviews. So it's grown really, really fast. And since then, I never stopped. So 10 years almost of creating travel blogs and vlogs and content, yeah.
Okay, man. So you've been creating content for 10 years now, which is not, it wasn't a thing 10 years ago, right? It wasn't like nobody was looking at content creators the way it is today. And you probably have seen the whole evolution of content creation. So how do you look at this, and how do you compare content creation today versus 10 years ago?
So I think it's very interesting because you have the one that went super professional and it's looked like could get to a level of like a Netflix series. And then from the other side, there is so many people that just, upload to their story 3 times a day what they eat, where they practice, and so and so. And they're also creators. So you have such a big variety of creators today. And it seems like everybody has a market. Some people, and I could, some point in the day prefer the very casual Instagram or TikTok creators that just give me some fun information or things that do interest me. And then from the other side, I would really want to see somebody that did like an epic travel video from Dubai. So it's incredible today that you can spend so much of your day creating content and also consuming it from other people.
And I think I have to add to this. It just seems like there are new types of content creators today. 10 years ago, it probably started with just a blog, which was just text with photos. Later on, become video. Now it's short videos, long videos, mid videos, highly professional videos, highly edited videos, TikToks. There's so many ways to express visual, and I think this creates a lot of different, as you said, a lot of variety of different content, and that's really, really great, and this really represents something. But you are a different content creator because first of all, your content is amazing, but second of all, it's super interesting. So you're investing a lot in understanding the story about everything you're creating. So tell me a little bit about, the process behind the scenes and how you're looking at stories when you're traveling, because, we can say for sure that traveling is hard as it is, and then content creation is hard as well. So combining both is like a super hard thing to do.
It's a job, when people hear about my lifestyle, that I've been traveling so many years and so many countries, they said, oh, it's amazing, but I try to explain to you, I'm not in a vacation. I do work, but I love my job. I cannot complain. I don't see it as okay. No, I'm in Costa Rica. I need to make a video. It's just I really enjoy telling a story. And for me, it's not that I get to a place and I said, okay, I have now 5 days here. I'm gonna record whatever I can and create content and take my camera everywhere. So it's not that I'm going to a place and I take my camera out and record every second of the day. So for me, I like to stay in a place at least a month, understanding the vibe, understanding the people, realize what is the story and what is my say, what I want to say. I don't just make videos to entertain people. And you ask me how many views I have. I said I don't really have a clue because I really don't care, to be honest. Like I more care about telling the story. Of course, I wanted to reach as many people as possible and more people will get inspired by it or go travel or learn something new. But I think for me, the idea is telling a story. And this is why I also wrote a book, because I really like the storytelling. Like this is for me, and this is why I give talks. I really like the storytelling idea.
So you really like the storytelling, and I think it represents a lot of your content, which is amazing. And you have such a wide range of audience. So how do you think your content influences your audience and the people who are following you online?
I get some people ask me how many hours I work a day, and I said it's hard to say. I definitely know I work every day at least 2 hours. To reply messages, because I'm getting between 100 and 120 messages a day, like emails, WhatsApp messages, Instagram, Facebook. So and I reply to everyone personally. So I see the when I get to a place, I see how it's changing it and how people follow there and going there and traveling there or getting ideas to travel places I've been to, like the Pacific. Like every couple of times I'm getting like email. I heard you've been to Tuvalu. It's like an island in the Pacific. Like, what can you tell me about it? Can I sleep there? There is ATMs. So yeah, obviously it's affecting a lot of people luckily, and I think it's amazing, to have this privilege to make people go and travel and meet other culture. I can speak about why I think traveling is so good for you or important, but I think maybe it's a different topic.
And you have so many different channels. So you have TikTok a little bit, and you have Instagram, and but you're a lot on Facebook, you're a lot on YouTube because of all of these visuals, and it seems like it takes a lot of effort to manage all of this. So how do you see yourself in the future managing so many platforms that are popping up all the time to support content creators?
So until 2 years ago, I did everything myself. So I used to film, edit all of my videos, lectures, talk, campaigns, everything I did myself. And then when COVID arrived, I came back. I was in the Amazon and I came to Israel and I said, okay, COVID is one thing, I don't care, I will still live my life and travel. And I did Israel, a national trail and other hikes, but also said, I don't want to do things anymore that I don't love doing. Like if I'm not loving it, I don't want to do it. So I found a guy that edited my video. He's incredible, he's much better than me and he's doing a great job. And I found an agent that she deal all of my lectures and talk and business side, so I can focus in creating content, what I really, really like. And as you said, yeah, it's become more difficult because you have TikTok and you have Instagram and so on. So if I see that I don't manage it or I stop liking it or I don't love it so much, I'll just find someone to help. It's so easy today.
Got it. And you just mentioned that you have a crew, so you have a team of people supporting all of your making, which is great. But that's it fits you because you're a large content creator and you're very well known, and people follow you from all over the world, and especially the Israeli audience that are in love with you. But how so there's a lot of discussion about the micro influencer and the micro content creators and the newcomers into the space. What would be how do you think they can manage all of this and all these platforms and all of these work that they have to do and the audience reach and etc.?
It's this is when I speak with travel creators and I speak with a lot of them, the young one, I'll tell them, listen, don't go into it unless if you don't like telling a story, if you don't like filming, if you don't go into it, it's very hard to become rich from creating content. Yeah, it's like from being a travel blogger, and it's a hard job. This is what people does not understand. It's hard. You need to film, you need to edit, you need to travel, you need to go to places, you need to understand the story, you need to research. And if you really, if it's not your passion, it will be very hard to maintain it for a long time, especially because usually it's taking years until you can make an income. Obviously you have some people that are unique and they create income after a couple of months and growing really fast, but most of the travel creators, they creating content for a year, 2 years even, before they start growing rapidly and making money out of it. So for me in the beginning, actually until 2 years ago, I didn't make money off my video. I made my money from talks. So I give talks and I made my money for that. Not even connected to my travel blog and everything. And until today, 95% of my videos is not sponsored. It's things that I just do because I like traveling and I like filming and all of that. And I think if you are a small creator, you need to understand, one, you're loving it. You need to be committed. You really need to be committed. Like you need to be there. It's not going to work if you're going to make one video that's became viral and after 3 months you're going to make another video. You need to be there, you need to have a plan, you need to understand that it's what you want, you need to invest time, you need to create a community around you of people, what they call true fans, that people that love you, support you, will follow you, will buy your book, you come to your talks, will watch your video, will share it, will comment it. And to do that, you need to help people. You need to answer question. You need to give information for free. So you need to build a community around you, like the true fans that really support your way and really, really love you. You need to be there for them. As they support you, you need to support them. If they have a question, you need to help them, or they need something and you could, just try and help. So I think that you need to combine those and hard work. And I would recommend to a lot of creators today not to invest their time in one platform because it's changing. I years been only in Facebook and I said, I'm only in Facebook, I only care about Facebook, I have huge amount of followers there, I don't need anything else. But then as time grown, I said, okay, Instagram also growing, so I started investing in Instagram and then into YouTube and then TikTok, and now I'm going into LinkedIn as well. So I think what I'm telling to creators today, it's like properties. Try to have as many as you can. Obviously, don't overflow yourself. But if you're creating a TikTok video, you can also upload it to Short and to Instagram. So why not? It's another 5 minutes. Just upload it to all of them. So, try to reach as much as you can. Also, something important I'm telling to a lot of the youngs that starting following this way is that it's not about the views. Obviously, it's important how many followers you have and how many views. But a lot of companies that work with me, they pay me money and they want to be part of my video because they like what I represent. So it doesn't matter if I have 60,000 views for a video or 100,000 views. They don't care. They care what I represent, what I do beside creating video. Do I volunteer? Do I go clean beaches? Do I do other stuff? And so on and so on. So it's very important also what you are representing and your vision. Obviously, not regardless to your views, but side to your views and to your followers and community.
So you've mentioned two things that I really want to dig into. First question I have for you, you've mentioned revenues and monetization, and this is a large topic in the content creation space because by the end of the day, you'll ask any teenager today in the world, they'll tell you that they want to become a YouTuber, but from the other side, there will always be the parents behind them that will say it's not a job, you can't make money out of this. And there's a whole ecosystem today of companies like ourselves, like NAS Academy, like other companies like Jelly Smack, like Patreon, that are creating different niches, monetization channels for content creators. How do you see the space of monetization for content creators evolve, and where do you think and what would be the one maybe another tip, but actually a guideline that you would give a content creator for monetizing long-term their work? So
for me personally, I never did monetization. I never did links or all of these things to sell to people things. I never felt so comfortable with it, to be honest, because it's really, it felt like a lot of work for not a lot of money personally. It's relative right. What you think a lot of money or not. But I do think today things change. So, everybody knows the sentence, if it's free, the product is you. But I think with time, and as time go by, people understand they will be willing to pay money to go on Facebook, but not seeing commercial and just see things that interest them. And as money go in to those platform or to other platform that going today or starting today or growing today, I think they will understand what Netflix understand and other people understand or other platform. If we're making money from people that paying us, we need to pay money for the creators to create the best content they can, the best video, the best things they can create. So I think as time go by, as we evolve, people will be willing to pay for platform to get exactly what they want without all the background noises. And from the other side, those platforms will understand more than they invest in creators, more people will come. So I think this is the future, but nobody knows how many years it could take. Instagram now checking it to start making I'm not there, but I think it's called the True Fans. The Instagram, you will pay money to be on Instagram, and I think this is the future. I'm just not sure how many years it will take.
Right, and that's and probably Instagram's kind of take on OnlyFans, which is a subscription service for content creators. Having said that, it's always like that's something that we see at True Spots is that travel content creators are specifically unique because whenever you get the most value out of the travel content creator, it's when you want to travel and you're looking at his videos in a specific destination. It's not only the entertainment side. And so for travel creators, there's still like a space for like a niche to help travel content creators to monetize. Having said that, that's not the largest category in travel, in content creation in general. So a lot of discussions there. You are not only a content creator, but you're also like a very professional traveler because you've been to 151 countries and you've been on so many planes and boats and cars and geographies and etc. So you've seen the internet evolving as well from, you know, what it was 10 years ago and 15 years ago in the travel experience and what it became today. So guide me through your feeling and everything you think about a travel experience online 10 years ago today and the 10 years ahead, and how do you see it?
When I started traveling, it was 2005, so it was completely different. I remember went to Thailand, you leave the bag with a friend and then you go check for hotels for like 4 or 5 hours until you find something nice. So obviously it changed a lot, but internet changed everybody's life. You know, you have these things that you can do everything today through here. I book my flight, I found hotels, I do everything. I create content, I share it through my phone, I do everything through these things. So obviously it changed everybody's life, especially in the travel community. You know, I spent quite long time in South Africa. I have some friends there and they have such a cool hostel. And I was sitting in the bar and I said, it was maybe 5 years ago, and I said, George, I'm sorry, you guys not doing so well. And he's like, we're fully booked. I was like, what you mean? Like, I've been there 3 years ago, it was pumping, parties, people is like on the bar, drinking. It's like, everybody's in the room on their phone. So obviously it's I think it's hurt a lot of the experience of traveling in hostels, but also it's made traveling so much easier and I think also much more accessible for everybody, because maybe a couple of years ago you couldn't travel the Caribbean because it was too expensive to find a 5-star hotel there. But now when you have Airbnb or Booking and all of these cheap options, you could go travel the Caribbean, what you couldn't do many years ago, and cheap flights and so obviously it's made life much easier. It just changed the game a bit.
But you know, there's a lot of content being created in the travel space, and you know, you're part of the wave, and there are many other great creators. You know, Los LeBlanc and Nas Daily and Drew Binsky, and there's so many around the world. And it's. Do you think this is shaping somehow the experience for the travel consumer, for the actual travelers? The idea that there's so much content spread around, you know, travel around the world.
I think it's very hard to say, but also what's happening today is that when you are following, as you said, there is so many creators and there is so many people you can follow and there is so much information about everywhere. There is no place that it's a surprise. You know, you're getting to a place today, you know exactly how it's going to look like, you know how the bar is going to look like, you know how the hostel is going to look like. So it's ruined a bit from the experience, I think, and from the fun, but it's also encouraging a lot of people to go and travel, people that wouldn't do it if it wasn't so convenient. So
got it. So I actually wanted to say that, you know, Gen Z and millennials, I think in general, really like the idea that you don't have to be surprised when you're arriving somewhere. That you have the opportunity to transparently look into like visual windows of this specific place and to enjoy, even to feel this place, to feel the vibe, to feel like what is it about, even before you're arriving. So I think, you know, a lot of the content that you're creating, basically allowing people to travel through you, which is big.
It's big and it's a bit funny because for me, I always say that I like to get to a new place because I feel like a kid. I don't know the language, I don't know where I'm going to eat, I don't know where I'm going to go, I don't know anything. I'm like so curious, and what I'm doing in my video is actually taking this curiosity and answer most of the question. But I do understand that most of people, as you said, doesn't like the surprise.
Yeah, and it
So
makes
it's okay.
sense. Like travel has a little bit of anxiety in it, right? Whenever you're traveling, you don't know where you're going, and you can name this as curiosity sometimes, and sometimes you can name this as anxiety. And people like the idea that they have, a little bit of confidence in their head, basically knowing how this place is feeling like. You started advising startup companies, which is a thing because not a lot of content creators are doing so, and you're a very, very smart content creator and very, very smart traveler. Tell me a little bit about the experience of working and what are you working on?
So it started, as I said, during COVID, a lot of good things happened to me. I've been to Israel and I traveled a lot, and then Microsoft Israel had 30 years, and they came with this idea of building a travel app for their workers. Encourage them because it was a problem. You couldn't fly them outside of Israel, but you couldn't also take them travel in Israel because you couldn't meet. So you need to do something together, but alone. So the idea was to create 30 hikes of Lonely Peleg in Israel, and we built an app, and every hike had a story. Some of the hike had even a video that I created with photos and riddle, and was very interactive, and they really liked it. And from there, working with Microsoft, it was incredible, like working with these super intelligent people, and they give problems that we need to solve together, and it really encouraged me to do that. And then start to advising for travel tech company, you guys as well, of course, and it just so interesting to just sit with people, hearing their ideas, see their vision, try to understand their vision, and together follow how you can make it happen. It's incredible, and then there is Rumor as well. That Rumor is a company since 2013. They were probably one of the first one to come with the ideas of marketplace to sell your room, your hotel room if you cannot go. We met along the way a couple of years ago in New York, and I started advising them as well. And together we built this idea of trying to make travel easier on people. So today, what we believe is that a lot of people, what we spoke, don't go travel because they are afraid and because they don't know and because they are not really sure. But our vision was wander without getting lost. So giving the people the option to wander and to go to new places, but still in the comfort zone, encourage them to go and travel and meet new places and see new places, but also from the other side, give the creators, us, the people like me that create content, the option to make money and most of the money from their creation, and not just maybe somebody affiliates something into their account and maybe made 30 cents out of it. So that was the vision we start with, and the idea was, even for me that I traveled so many years and I know how to create a plan, when I went to New York it took me 3 hours to make my travel plan. And the basic idea was it would be so nice if I would open my Google Map, that you saw how my Google Map looked like, it's full of dots, and my Google Map will tell me, instead of me searching, it will tell me what I can do around. So this was the idea, and obviously it's based video because this is my passion and this is what I know how to do. So we are now developing it. We believe it will be ready in 6 months, so very exciting.
Nice, good luck. And I think the last question that is extremely interesting is, what kind of technology do you think will shape the future of travel or the future of content creation, and where do you believe this is all going?
We spoke about evolution, and we saw it started from writing, it went to photos, and then it went for long videos, and now short videos. It's very hard to say otherwise. Everybody goes there. If it's the YouTube Shorts, Instagram, LinkedIn, I saw they start videos. Now we're pushing it really, really hard. It's just easier to create content on video. And I think the future, if we're looking at it, because when I search something, I would look on Google, top 10 beaches in Mexico for surfing, and it will give me a list. Now, sometimes I want to see it in a short video, but it will be nice, I think, if it will be a combination. I think it will go to a combination of video with these titles, like with this information that you can just, let's say, drag into your Google Map, or into your notes, or into my travel plan, but in VR. Obviously, it's going there, that you can see everything, that you can walk, that you can feel. I think this is the future.
That's interesting. You're a nomad and you're traveling the world. How do you really have time for VR, or do you think it's something that you have to do at home, like it's an entertainment thing? That's an interesting take.
Right now, I think it's obviously an entertainment thing, but it's going everywhere. Now my friends are developing properties and they are in VR. So VR is you want to see how it's going to look. You don't want to build now a complex and just see 3D like a sketch. You want to walk. You want to see which grass they're going to put and which stones it's going to be on the wall. You want to feel it, at least part of it. And I think it's going into everywhere. It's going into travel. It's going to go inside every field.
I got to say that we're now, like, we've been looking at Oculus for a while, and YouTube on Oculus is full of travel videos that basically give you like a 360 experience about different places around the world. And I am a big believer as well that at some point you'll sit at your place and you'll say, okay, I wanna visit Dubai right now, and I want to walk through the hotel I'm gonna stay in, and you'll book all of your stuff through a completely like real experience on VR. This is a vision I think we will get to, and let's see Facebook or Apple or whoever is about to release new VR glasses will be able to pull up the right infrastructure for this.
This is what I thought. I think we spoke about it. I'm not sure it was with you, but I said that will be a thing when Apple will take out their glasses. Because Apple know how to do those things, and it's going to be beautiful, and it's going to be slick, and it's going to be okay to wear it. Like it's not going to be weird, and it's not going to be probably ugly. So I think the moment more people will use it and wear it, more people will. It's all about demand. If people will wear it and they would want this content coming to them in VR, more creators will go to this direction.
Look, I got an Oculus. My brother got an Oculus. Oran got an Oculus. So I think I think the reported number was like 20 or 15 million Oculus sold last year, which is more than the PlayStation and Xbox. And I'm not sure about the numbers, but I just know that it's growing big time. So it's not it's a thing. And it's interesting because 5 years ago, I met an entrepreneur, or like 6 years ago, it was like I met an entrepreneur and he was into VR, and I couldn't understand why, because there was no market for this, nobody really had it, and now it's like everywhere. So that's what's so great about technology. Like it's when it's there, it's everywhere. So the markets are huge. Amigo, thank you so much. The last question I want to ask you is, the one thing that we didn't discuss yet is you're working you're working as a speaker in different talks that you're doing, and you have your own kind of talk show basically where people are coming and can listen to your story. But tell me a little bit, how do you think large brands in the travel space, actually, because that's a lot of stuff that we're thinking about, can benefit from working with content creators in the travel space?
I think today, if you want to look on somebody that did it right, I think Airbnb, because Airbnb really understood that you cannot just sell a room. Okay, you go there, you have their experience. They have things you can do online, offline, things you can do, tours in the city. So they're really branching, and you really get the whole experience when you book in an Airbnb. They give you like everything, and also it's much easier to book a place on Airbnb when I know not only how it's look like and not only reviews of other people, I can see how accurate is that, and the location and so on. And I think that really, if Booking and all the other websites really want to fight them, they cannot use photos of a hotel from 7 years ago they bought from some website, and it probably doesn't even look like this anymore. So I think if they really want to sell experience, and this is what they do, they don't just selling you a hotel room, they're selling you an experience. And I think as time goes by, people would want the experience to be more accurate, and the only one they can do it, or the one they can do it the best, is creators. So I think they will need us along the way.
Nice. Cool, man. I think you're the smartest content creator I've ever met, which is amazing. And you are a huge inspiration to the Israeli market. And so many people love you. And I am a big fan of yours. So keep doing amazing content and being an inspiration to so many people in the industry. And I appreciate your time. And thank you so much for this talk.
Of course. And we'll meet soon for a drink.
Absolutely.
Before I leave to Mexico.
Sounds good, amigo.
Bye.